I'm Jasmine Irojak with another edition of Scope. A graduation ceremony is a public validation of years of hard work and sacrifice. The Papua New Guinea University of Technology in Lae was no different, as it awarded its top students in its 58th graduation ceremony in April 2026.
Stories of hardships, triumphs, and personal sacrifices are celebrated at graduation ceremonies. While many stories remain untold, some graduates were brave enough to share their reflections with this newsroom after the 58th graduation ceremony of the PNG University of Technology in Lae, Morbe Province. One of them is Shantella Alei from East Sepik Province. She was in second year at the PNG University of Technology when her mother passed away. While many would have faltered in their journey, her late mother's advice echoed in her mind. No matter what happens in the family, you are to do well for you because we won't be here all the time. The 24-year-old Bachelor of Science in Agriculture graduate humbly clutched her degree and her other accolades to her chest as she spoke of how she managed to consistently top her program.
I came in first year and I was at Marianville and I came here. When I came here, everyone wanted me to take engineering, but I wanted to take agriculture, science, so I did. I remember my first test, I did really poorly, so I told my dad, I don't think I'm ready for uni. And then he was like, it's just the first assessment, you'll do fine. So in first year, second year, third year, I was the top of my class. They gave us cash prizes. So every year I got 250 kina from the School of Agriculture. I also lost my mom in second year. During that time, it was study break, going towards the graduation. So I had to go home. I also had assignments that time, but I didn't want to miss them. So we'll go to the house cry, come back in the afternoon, I'll do my work, submit. Yeah. Because I knew that advice to my siblings and I were to, no matter what happens in the family, you have to do well for you.
Alei was awarded Council Medal and Degree with Merit, recipient of the School of Agriculture Prize Award for Best Overall Performance, and recipient of the Pro Waste Management Prize Award for Academic Excellence.
My mom is also from East Sepik, both my dad and her. They're from the same place, but the villages are apart, just distant apart. She didn't graduate uni, she graduated with a diploma. And when we came to uni, she was really proud of us, my sister and I. And yeah, it was sad losing her, but life goes on, so.
Another top performing graduate was former Student Representative Senate President Brent Carroll, who graduated with flying colors from the School of Mechanical Engineering.
I'm privileged to be awarded a first class honors in my cohort and also had the highest GPA from my cohort as well. I previously served as the Student Representative Senate President of 2025, so juggling both leadership and also academics was definitely challenging, but it has perks, and today it paid off being the recipient of the first class honors as well as the Vice Chancellor's Award. So at the end of the day, it's the service I give to people I can help as much as possible, and this award's just probably a cherry on top of the cake.
Carroll, who is also a 2025 Kokoda Trek Foundation ACHA leader, said it was not easy being the student leader of PNG UOT, as well as playing different leadership roles while studying for his degree. He acknowledged his peers for their support in helping him catch up with classes that he had missed, as well as his lecturers for their understanding.
During my grade 12, there was definitely a challenge, and having a single mom with definitely great aunties from my father's side, they had to push me through my tertiary studies journey. So having to be one of the first from my siblings to be a degree holder is definitely a privilege. And I come from a family where we have 8 siblings, myself included, and look forward to setting the benchmark for my siblings to hopefully step up. Thank you. Hopefully. Oh yes, I have 2 older siblings. They're in the technical fields. So between the 3 of us, I'm the first degree holder, and I have 5 younger sisters, 2 of which are at UPNG right now, and others are in national high school and primary school respectively. So definitely I'd like to set the benchmark, so I hope they can come close to even just close.
You're watching Scope, celebrating 60 years of service in education in Papua New Guinea. Former staff and students reunite to commemorate a legacy of academic excellence, faith, and lifelong sisterhood. Marianville Secondary School marked its 60th Diamond Jubilee at the end of May. A 3-day celebration that highlighted the school's legacy of academic excellence, faith formation, and lifelong sisterhood. Current students and staff welcomed former students, teachers, board members, and visitors alike to commemorate the Diamond Jubilee of 6 decades of service to education in Papua New Guinea. It was more than an anniversary. It was an extravagant reunion of song, dance, and many words of gratitude and remembering those who have grown angel wings. One of many former students who returned to celebrate the 60th milestone was Sister Geraldine Arua from the class of 1987. Her journey to religious life began as a young girl, attending St. Peter's Primary School, where she was inspired by the Bridgerton sisters. Marianville Secondary School in Port Moresby has produced generations of women who have become pilots, lawyers, judges, teachers, police officers, journalists, bankers, national representatives in sports and pageantry, and even missionaries who have devoted their lives to religious service. Marianville Secondary marked its 60th Diamond Jubilee at the end of May, with celebrations highlighting the school's legacy of academic excellence, faith formation, and lifelong sisterhood. The weekend-long celebrations brought together former and current students, teachers, board members, staff, and supporters to reflect on 6 decades of service to education in Papua New Guinea. Hundreds of former students returned for the 3-day celebration of the Diamond Jubilee, including Sister Geraldine Arua from the class of 1987. Her journey to religious life began when she was just a young girl attending St. Peter's Primary School. She developed an interest in the religious life through the Bridgerton sisters. Raised in a strong Catholic family, Sister Geraldine said Marianville played a significant role in shaping her faith and character.
When I received the offer to come to Marianville, I said, well, I might see more sisters. So eventually I came up the whole 4 years here as a boarding student. And they are living with the sisters, working with them. And there were among us in my group, there were about 4 also who were interested.
So that made me happy. I said, well, there's 4 of us in the group who are interested to be sisters, so we kept each other company.
After completing grade 10 in 1987, she chose to pursue the religious life instead of further studies. She entered the Our Lady of the Sacred Heart convent in Boroko and eventually became a daughter of the OLSH congregation in 1991. Reflecting on her years at Marianville, Sister Geraldine recalled the hard work students contributed to building school infrastructure.
You know, it just gave that the pride that you did something and you left it for the future. Not to be, you know, to hold back and to say, oh, I did it and you grudge. But no, it's the pride. What we did, and maybe it's a reward for the future that they can see and said, oh yes, this is the hand of those. So the 60s and 70s, 80s, 90s are the ones who did this.
Beyond individual stories, the celebrations also recognize the contribution of the Catholic Church and the OLSH sisters, whose commitment to education laid the foundation for Marianville's success. Board Chairman Thomas Rombuk acknowledged the Church's enduring role in shaping generations of Papua New Guineans.
And we are here today. We are truly beneficiaries of the Catholic Church, the love they have, the commitment to our country, and the faith they have in the God that we all serve and know as Christians. It is a great commitment to nation building that they have partnered with our government to change and transform our country in the 50 years we've just acknowledged and celebrate.
Former Commissioner of Police Gary Baki was board chairman for Marianville High School for 15 years, starting 1995. He praised Marianville's consistent academic achievements and reputation for excellence.
Going through the journey in the development of Marianville, as we had in previous speeches that have been made, this school has produced some of the best brains this country has ever had. Marianville never drops its standard, never. I see the participation of our teachers, student to teachers ratio was one of the best.
The celebrations also highlighted the strong bond shared by Marianville graduates, with hundreds of alumni participating in the Diamond Jubilee Walk. Former students attended with family members. Many others traveled in from other parts of the country to reconnect with former classmates and support the anniversary activities. Marianville Alumni Group Association President Rosamund Moihe highlighted the importance of the school's 60th Diamond Jubilee, as it will gather a massive reunion of staff and students as far back as the mid-60s, the 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000 era, all leading different life missions today.
I graduated in 1992, but the bond with my sisters in 1992 have surpassed 30 years. We even celebrated the 30 years anniversary of Lamana. So that bond in itself tells you things have changed, yes, over the years, but everything has stayed the same. You'll only know if you're in Marianville when I say that. And you'll only pick up a Marianville when you see one and how they speak and how they carry themselves around. And that's something I don't think any other school can give.
Former student Shirley Sombolok from the class of 1994 described the reunion as an emotional experience.
Basically, I think it's a proud moment for any Mvillian, knowing that we've done 60 years and being part of the team, being part of now the walkathon. It's a good feeling walking because we get on our vehicles every day. So it's a good feeling of, and every school has its own challenges, from utilities to selection to every other thing. For me, it's an overwhelming feeling because of the fact that you know that this has been the best school in the country.
Abigail Wafi from the class of 2016 said Marianville continues to inspire young women to pursue and achieve their goals.
I always take pride in being part of Marianville, as it taught me and instilled some values in life that I still hold to this day, even being an alumni now. So always admiring the progress and new initiatives taken in school and how the current students and the former students have been part of the great initiatives that's helped to build the school to where it is now and the reputation it has in the education sector in PNG.
Working together to do things, not just individual working, but as a team working together. That's a real family spirit there. And you can feel, that it's Mary's village, because you have the prayers every morning you wake up. We have sections, all these areas and whatever to do.
Celebrations concluded with a Eucharistic Mass and the unveiling of a commemorative plaque. Marianville Secondary School continues to stand as a symbol of faith, education, and empowerment for generations of Papua New Guinean women. Drop a like or comment on this story later on the TV1 online website, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Members of the PNG media make a significant visit to Australia as part of preparations for 2028. Terry Longboot takes a trip behind the scenes of the media landscape in the NRL. Sport is becoming an increasingly important part of the Australia-Papua New Guinea partnership. And a recent visit to Sydney provided PNG journalists with a clear pathway into that growing relationship. As Papua New Guinea prepares for the entry of the PNG Chiefs into the NRL in 2028, PNG media representatives travelled to Australia under the International Media Visit Program to gain insight into the country's sporting and media landscape.
McDonald out of dummy half, sets it across.
As Papua New Guinea prepares for one of the biggest milestones in rugby league's history, the entry of the PNG Chiefs into the National Rugby League competition in 2028, a delegation of Papua New Guinean sports journalists and news editors traveled to Sydney to gain a deeper understanding of the game, its media landscape, and the systems that drive rugby league in Australia. The delegation, comprising sports journalists and news editors from 8 media organizations, including TV1, Post Courier, and PNG FM, participated in a week-long Australian international media visit from May 30 to June 6, 2026. The program was made possible through the Australian Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, facilitated by the Australian High Commission in PNG. Through the visit, the group met with experts and stakeholders from across the rugby league ecosystem, gaining valuable insight into how the NRL operates and the critical role media plays in the weekly sporting cycle. The first major engagement was at Combank Stadium in Parramatta, where they witnessed an NRL top-of-the-table clash between the Penrith Panthers and the New Zealand Warriors. The visitors were provided with exclusive sideline access before kick-off. The experience allowed PNG journalists to observe firsthand how broadcasters prepare for live coverage and to experience the atmosphere of a modern, world-class sporting venue. Back in the media centre, the group networked with Australian rugby league journalists before attending the post-match press conference, where they observed coaches and captains fielding questions from the media. The visit continued at the next day to the ABC headquarters in Sydney, where the delegation watched the filming of the Pacific Sports Show hosted by Sam Wykes and Tiana Penitani. The group also met respected ABC sports commentator Andrew Moore, who shared insights into his broadcasting journey and the evolving role of sports commentary.
With sports commentary, the hardest thing, I think, and when Spriggy came over from Perth, for example, he'd done plenty of sports broadcasting, but hadn't done rugby league, so he and I spent a lot of time together. And I shared with him, I'll share with anyone, I think the hardest thing to do when you start is be yourself, because you're always influenced by somebody, whoever you've loved listening to as a kid or in your early adulthood. It's in there, their phrases are in there, the way they do it, their pace, their rhythm, how they interact is in your head. So I really do think it's the toughest thing is to be yourself. And for me, that took a while, because I was influenced by Ray Warren and Ray Hadley and Dennis Cometti and Jim Maxwell, depending what the sports were. And just to clear that out of your mind and just be you, I found really tough. So that would be my number one tip to anyone, regardless of the field they're in, is do it your way. And that takes a while, doesn't it, Springy, to just...
What do they say? Copy the technique, not the style.
Right.
So borrow the best bits of what you hear, but of course be yourself as far as, you know, the way you actually deliver that message on the airwaves. So it's important to have those fundamentals and realise that the best commentators you listen to and watch on TV, especially in a radio sense, give the score often and describe what's happening on the ground, but also know that it's up to you to sort of be yourself and deliver that message in your own true way.
Welcome 100%.
The delegation had the opportunity to visit Channel 9 studio to be part of the live audience during the filming of 100% Footage Show, hosted by James Browsey, alongside rugby league personalities Phil Gould and Paul Gallen. The behind-the-scenes experience offered a unique perspective on one of Australia's leading rugby league television programs. Among the most significant engagements of the visit was a tour of the NRL headquarters at Rugby League Central in Moore Park. There, the delegation participated in a question and answer session with NRL Head of Media and Communications Glenn Jackson, who discussed editorial policies, media standards, and the challenges of managing content in an increasingly digital and social media-driven environment. To top it off, a visit to the South Sydney Rabbitohs captain's run and a chat with the South Sydney Rabbitohs winger and PNG Chiefs 002 Alex Johnston.
So I made the decision basically straight away when the team was announced to be coming in 2028 that you know, if there was nothing here at South, that I'm going to the Chiefs. So yeah, that was a decision made pretty early on. And there's no real concerns at all. I know people are wondering about safety and all stuff, and I'm sure everyone here knows, you know, particularly in Parliament, particularly for rugby league players, safety is not a concern at all. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty cool little spot at Airways where we're staying, and yeah, hopefully we can get out and about with the community as well.
The delegation then caught up with ABC's commentary team to gain further insight into live match broadcasting.
In the scrum, they have it 15 out from their own line. There's a delegation of about 10 commentators, journalists, camera people, all of that are here in Australia this week.
Can't be anything else but excited for the people up there in PNG and also for the whole of the NRL, Andrew.
So now comes left. Cody Walker boots it from inside the 40, bounces off the knees of Law. He's got it 12 metres out from his own line, heads over the 20, taken just on his 30. Just be careful of Terry, this bloke behind you, Matty. He's a bit of a worry, this bloke. CV superstar over in PNG. As now Manly spread it from right to left. Brooks got the pass away. Cutting through Talatau Kola. He got straight through for Feeder. Now taken over the top by...
The final day of the program included a visit to the iconic Leichhardt Oval in Sydney's Inner West, hosted by Mayor Darcy Byrne. Delegates toured the historic venue and club museum while learning about the Oval's significance in Australian rugby league history.
So important for Australia that the Chiefs succeed, and I think what that will do for us as a nation, if we have a much stronger relationship with Papua New Guinea, that's really important. And then the fact that the game is so big in your country, I just find that quite like a romantic idea, that you just got this entire nation of people who love rugby league that much. And I think there'll be a lot of people in Australia who are inspired by that and who think that that's something that they want to get behind.
The Australian international media visit concluded with a tour of the NRL bunker at Sydney's Australian Technology Park, hosted by NRL bunker manager Jared Maxwell, alongside Brad Walter and Michael Asensio. The visit offered a rare behind-the-scenes look at Rugby League's centralized video review system. Equipped with dozens of high-definition screens displaying multiple broadcasting angles, the bunker enables officials to review and rule on critical match incidents in real time. The week-long experience provided valuable access and insight into every aspect of the modern game, from media operations and broadcasting to governance, high-performance programs, and match-day technology. As Papua New Guinea moves closer to its historic NRL entry in 2028, the knowledge gained from this visit will help journalists tell the story of the PNG Chiefs with greater depth, understanding and context, while strengthening the growing sporting partnership between Papua New Guinea and Australia. The group extends special thanks to team leader Kip and Marie from the Australian High Commission, Lachlan Cameron from DFAT Canberra, and Brad Walter from NRL.com.
And that ends tonight's Scope. Visit the TV1 online website, Facebook, YouTube and TikTok, and leave a like or comment on our Scope stories this evening. See you next Sunday for another edition of Scope.